What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? AJ Gore here, and we are live once again for another Tuesday Night Live. And this time, we're back in studio, just kind of hanging out, just enjoying the evening tonight. Hope you guys are all doing well. Not a whole lot of crazy stuff on the agenda tonight, but I will say that I got a couple of fishing rods right here. You can see them just out of frame, but it's kind of neat. My LED lights that I've got surrounding my jerseys are looking pretty awesome as far as the way that they're glistening in the fishing line. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the fishing line is just like light. It's just neat. I don't know. I just noticed it right now. It's kind of cool. Anyways, what are you guys up to? Who do we got in the comment section? I know that the YouTube people haven't gotten any love lately because for some reason it won't let me go live from my phone, saying there's a restriction, which I never had before. And I can't figure it out, so I'm going to have to get with the very high ups that are in control of owning the Casking page and see why my phone is restricted to go live from my phone, but I have access to it through my others, and it's a long story. But anyways, guys, yeah. So we've been going out, having some fun, fishing out in the water. Gave that a try last week, and it didn't go so great. And we'll get into that in a minute. But let's see who we got in the chat. We've got Gary. What's going on, Bob? How you doing? Robert Green, glad to have you. The Justice family, as always, representing. Bass Bros, what's going on? Ben Stevens. It's going okay. It's going good. It's going good. Who else we got in here? Jesse, how you doing? Brandon Johnson, what's happening? Milton Thompson, yes. Big Pepper, what's happening? Chana Argus, hello. Joe, what's going on? Hey, man. Joe Cool on YouTube, finally catching you on here. Yes, sir. So, yeah, guys. We're just chilling, having a kind of a kickback night tonight. No big, real crazy agenda going on. Nothing crazy happening out there. If you got some friends out there that are bored and they want to join in, come on in. I don't know if you guys just got a little peek of my dog right there. She said hello. But so, yeah, last weekend we went out and did some fishing. Went out to an area on the lake. So before I'd been going out to an area where I knew had fair cell service. I knew that the other side of the lake, which we call the salt side, I was kind of more in the middle of the lake because you have two sides of this lake that I fish. You have Roosevelt Lake, and on my side of town, where I live to town and I travel towards the lake, is the salt side. And I tend to fish the salt side more than I do. Sorry, the old wifey is showing me a jacket that she's getting rid of that looks really big on her, and it is. It does look big on you, babe. Time to get it out of here. Her and I both have been chucking the weight off, and we're getting rid of stuff. I have like no clothes. I have no wardrobe, guys. I've always worn like an extra large since I was like a freshman in high school, and now I'm wearing a large. I'm shopping in the little boys section and in the juniors these days. So yeah, I've got like tiny stuff that I'm wearing these days, but I love it. Haven't weighed 180 pounds and so dang long, it's crazy. Anyways, getting back onto Melissa Justice says hi, Kate. Anyways. She says, hello, Melissa. But anyhow, so went and checked out this area of the lake that's on the salt side up towards the river that I primarily don't fish a ton. Now, I do fish in areas close to that. But previously, I was fishing areas towards the middle of the lake, like I was saying. So you have the salt side, which is closest to my hometown where I live. And I fished that side a little bit more. The middle of the lake, where the dam is located, which is the biggest body of the water, that is where I've kind of fished the other times with spotty service, but it's usually decent. Then way on the other side of the lake, they call that the Tano side, and the service there is just not so great. But anyhow, so I thought, you know what? And I don't fish so much because it's way on the other side of the lake, quite a bit more of a drive for me. So I kind of fish what's closer to me. You get it, especially with gas prices these days. Anyways, so I ran over. Hello, Diane Eagle. Hello, Van Hendricks. Hello, Ray. But anyways, so I ran over and was checking out an area this time because I knew we're going to have some fall to winter fishing happening, right? The wind was crack-a-lacking. It just didn't let up very much until the sunbelt went down. But I had a game plan, and I also wanted to talk about a reel, which we'll talk about a little bit tonight. But anyhow, dude, I got over to this place that I knew the self-service was going to be good, but I didn't know it was going to be 5G, ultra-wide, full bars good. So that kind of stuck me there, and I was afraid to leave because I knew the service was going to be good. So I was like, well, let's just stick it here for about the next half hour, see if I can crack something out. And man, I threw the baits that I know for a fact if I go out and really give it time, more than an hour, more than an hour on the water, I could probably do pretty good. On the water. Wait a minute. Milton, I got to give you love for that. I'm down 60 myself from 310 to 250. Milton, congrats, bro. Don't stop. Keep charging. As Michael Jackson said, don't stop till you get enough. I mean, know where you want to stop and hit there. Like me, I'm okay with staying at 180. I've gotten to 177, but I keep rocking right around 180. But you know what? I'm gonna just keep on the exercise and diet world and just see if I can lean out more, but build more muscle and just keep going, just see where it goes. But I'm not looking to get like deathly skinny. That's not what I'm trying to do, even though people ask me if I'm sick. But anyways, they just have never seen me in like 30 years looking the way I do. So I've always been a lot heavier for the past 30 years. But anyways, cruising back to the story. So I get out there, amazing service, which made me stick to that spot. Now, with that said, we struggled, didn't catch any fish, didn't even get a bump. The wind just kept cracking. So I switched it up through spinner, through bladed jig, through square bill, through lipless, through quite a few different things, and tried to keep from going to the drop shot. My dog wants to say hello, but try to keep from, okay, come here then. Just climbing up. So this is Naya. And any of you guys know, her full name is Shania, but she's a rescue, and all of her brothers and sisters were pups from a wild dog, and everybody at the homeless shelter, at the animal shelter, they named them after music artists. So she got a sister out there named Shakira, and so on. But this is Shania, as in Shania Twain. Well, we just kept her name. Why not? Because long story. We call her Naya for short, and I may also call her Meme every now and then. But anyways, this is Shania. I'm her service human. She needs to be by me like 24/7 or she kind of freaks out. But anyways, getting back to the story. So got out there and really wanted to push the square bill because I know square bill does fantastic in fall to winter conditions. Same thing with a bladed jig. Spinnerbait does great year round. So does a bladed jig. I throw a lipless year round as a great search bait, and just wanted to produce with those baits because I want to talk about, and I don't know if it came through really well, and I know YouTube didn't get to see it much, but in this time of year, the MG12 excels at things like that. So smaller bladed jigs, smaller spinner baits, lipless, square bills, smaller jigs themselves, a lot of what are you doing, dog? I'm gonna have to make her get down here in a minute. Hey. Okay, she just wants to sit there. But anyways, an MG12 will help you, especially when you need to scale down. And in the wind and things like that, sometimes you got to throw finesse. I get it. Yes, absolutely. What happened? I thought we were on 8 p.m. Eastern time. So, Matt, there's Eastern Daylight Time, and then there's Eastern Standard Time. It changes. So your guys changes a lot. Arizona time doesn't change at all for me. So it's 5 p.m. Arizona time. What are you doing right now? So anyway, so yeah, Eastern time, Eastern Standard versus Eastern Daylight. That's where it changes. So for me, it never changes. I'm always live at 5 p.m. Arizona time. But anyways, so I'm going to put her down. Hey, Shania. Yes, you. You need to get down. At least you're not barking this time. Will you get down? Please. No, you're just going to get more comfortable. Get down. Yes, get down. Nobody. Okay, go. All right, there we go. She got down. All right, so what I'm saying, though, is the MG12 right here. Of course, I've got this one set up to go Texas rig pretty easy. So anyhow, the MG12 is such a fantastic model of a reel that, as you can see right here, you can fish it Texas rig, worm hook style like I've got right now, EWG. You could throw a ton of different baits on this thing, and it's going to do just fine for you. But it will also scale down, and it will also finesse. Not quite full on bait finesse system, but it will do it very close. I mean, you could get away with it. You really could. But you can also throw, like I was showing you, Texas rig. Like I've got that one set up for Texas rig worm. But so like I'm saying, you take and get an MG12 with and look at this, guys. Like I talked about it last week on the show. If you're looking for my favorite lipless crankbait, it is the Red Eye Shad by Strike King. Now, Bill Lewis makes good lipless, 6th Sense, they all do. And I'll throw them all. But if I've got a Red Eye Shad, and as you can see, I've worn the paint off of about 10 of these. This exact model with the kind of the nickel finish or the chrome finish. At my home lake, they chew the snot out of this thing, and they'll hit this thing even with half the paint gone on it. And that paint is from, granted, smacking trees, smacking rocks, and fish just chewing on them. It really is. But dude, on a MG12, you will throw this when you get dialed in and you really know how to throw this reel very well. And this reel will help you cheat because it's got the A and B brake design. But my God, can you launch this bait like you wouldn't believe? I actually took Tate, the owner, out fishing earlier this year. And he just wanted to fish with the Mega Jaws Elite. He didn't want to fish with the MG12. Now, granted, Tate doesn't get to fish with everything he makes and sells. And this was one of the first times he's really got out and got to fish hardcore with an MG12. And I handed him pretty much this setup right here. And he launched this thing and goes, oh my God. He goes, now I know we make some amazing good reels. He goes, but this thing kind of surprised me. I didn't realize how far I could throw this lure like this. I just didn't get it. He goes, I threw it on a Mega Jaws Elite, and it goes out there far. You can throw it on the Icon Series reel, and it gets out there far. You can throw it on a Bassinator, and it gets out there far. But he couldn't believe how much further an MG12 will throw it, and it blew his mind. So if you're looking to cover more water, and that's part of the thing, in windy conditions too, MG12 right there. So we still need an MG12 and a Mega Jaws Elite 200. See, I'm with you on the Mega Jaws Elite 200 for sure. For sure. All right, so now you're going into smaller bladed jigs, square bills, things like that. I was just saying, like I've got right here now, granted, guys, check this out. If you ever get any damage or anything happen to your handles, you can get these off of Amazon. I had a mouse actually get into my boat and chew up some of my handles. I don't know if any of my knobs luckily they didn't get the knobs on this reel, but they got the actual handles. This is basically like heat shrinking tube for like electrical, but it's big for your handles. You just put it on there, take a heat gun to it, shrinks right down. That thing's not going to budge nowhere. I mean, it's made just for what this is. It is a fishing rod handle deal. So if you have other reels that the handles are getting damaged, getting ugly, the cork's getting tore up, whatever it may be, check these out. Multiple different colors. But anyways, back to the MG12. So if you're throwing smaller bladed jigs, smaller jigs, anything else like that, again, more distance, and you can get out there further in the wind. So when you're scaling down, MG12 is hard to beat. Put it on a jerkbait rod, it becomes the greatest jerkbait reel of your life. I'm telling you. Ask any one of these pros right here. James will tell you. Dylan will tell you. Skeet will tell you. Bryn will tell you. Cliff will tell you. You know what I mean? These guys all will just tell you right now, these are fantastic. So, but again, here we are. Now, granted, this bait, that shows you how small the MG12 is when a standard size square bill looks to be about the exact same size as the reel. It's fantastic, guys. So going into fall and winter fishing, some of the baits that I definitely recommend are going to be, that one took a dive, scared my dog. But any of the baits that I recommend, square bill, deep diving crankbaits, bladed jig, jerk bait at times. Another thing that doesn't get used enough is throwing a very, very no giveaways tonight. Sorry, James. But anyways, throwing a very heavy, I'm talking like 3/4 to 1 ounce spinnerbait. If you don't have a 3/4 to 1 ounce spinnerbait or even heavier, get some. Find them, hunt them down. Go to Bass Pro, go to your favorite mom and pop tackle shop. Maybe they pour their own spinnerbaits. Get you some. And even a bladed jig. They do make a bladed jig. I think Strike King makes some all the way up to 1.5 ounces. Now you can throw a bladed jig and work it like a spoon, believe it or not, and it will wear you out. But I recommend a big heavy one for that. But take you a big spinnerbait, like 1.5 ounces, 3/4 ounce, at least 3/4 to ounce, or bladed jig, but really a spinnerbait, and throw that sucker way out there into the deep. I'm talking 30 foot of water off points and things like that. Let it go all the way to the bottom. Sink to the bottom, and then just slow roll that spinnerbait back to you, even when it's freezing cold, and let that blade just barely keep that spinnerbait moving enough that you can know that that blade is still rotating under the water. And if you can let it bang the bottom, just keep it just ding, 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 just banging the bottom. You'll be surprised on what you're catching. Bass, Rashawn. I'm catching bass. So this is for bass fishing. I'm primarily a bass fisherman. That will work great for you. That's a trick that a lot of people don't use enough or even at all, is throwing a spinnerbait super deep water, let it hit the bottom, and slow roll it back to you as best as you can, and just give it a while. I mean, you may go out there and throw it for an hour, 2 hours, and nothing. But if you get into a batch or that perfect time happens, you might find that day where, holy cow, it'll blow your mind what you can do with a heavy spinnerbait in deep water. So that's another good thing. Next, so obviously, what do we got? AJ, can you throw a 3/8 jackhammer? Where'd it go? On an MG12, correct? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you could throw a 1/2 ounce jackhammer on an MG12. You can Texas rig MG12. They aren't built to be the biggest, most heaviest duty reel in the world. Not at all. They are more of a light series reel, especially being in that magnesium frame. But if you are thought conscious, that you're not out there just swinging for the fences, setting hooks on big stumps and things like that, you know what I mean? And you pay attention to what you're doing, that MG12 is going to let you get out there and get things done. I don't even really need much right now, but I could easily spend $5,000. I don't know what you're after to want to spend $5,000 right now, but dude, do it. Yeah, I'm down. But yeah, so you can throw, the MG12 excels at light baits, but you can still throw a pretty gambit array of normal baits with it. Just understand what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? And its limits. But it's not limited to just small baits. It excels at small baits and in the wind. That's one thing that I think a lot of people look past it, especially for its price. I mean, it is an amazing tool. I mean, I've got 4 of them right here. I want a couple more. They are fantastic. So, the gold eye reel. Okay, I got you now. So, all right, I see what's going on. But anyhow, so yeah, those are fantastic baits. So, guys, that's one thing I really wanted to talk about last week on the water. Didn't quite have a great day of fishing on it. I mean, I was only out there about an hour live. I'd gotten out there kind of about a half an hour before I went live, screwed around. The wind was really bad, so I was trying to kind of hide from it and play around a little bit. Then when I went live, it just never let up. Couldn't catch fish. And I kept saying, I don't want to tie on a drop shot because a drop shot will work. I don't care what time of year it is. I don't care. I'm going to catch something on a drop shot. Doesn't matter. It'll happen. So finally, everybody kept saying, I want to see a fish catch. And the conditions in that area just weren't proving to produce what I was trying to catch them on, what I know will catch them. But again, like I said, I was in an area I don't primarily fish much, and there just really wasn't a whole lot happening, even on the graph. But I threw on the old drop shot, and wouldn't you know it, lickety split right on the end of a point, picked up about a 2.5, just shy of 3. So it was nice. It was nice to do that and gave everybody what they wanted. But my point for that show, and I really wanted to drive it home today, is check out that MG12, A and B, Automag, true centrifugal, self-adjusting braking system, triple disc carbon fiber drag, 4.6 ounce aluminum alloy or magnesium alloy frame, carbon fiber handle with the TPE knobs, low friction tapered line guide. I mean, it's just a total package for what it's built for at $250. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, I mean, it's just definitely something to check out. So when you get into winter fishing or any kind of fall fishing where you got to scale down and drop your bait size a lot smaller and maybe the wind picks up and you still want to continue to use a bait caster, MG12 is what you're looking for. MG12 is what you're looking for. So how will the new iReel work for a 3/8 lure? It'll work fantastic, Bob. It's going to work superb. I mean, there's so many things about this new iReel that's coming that is going to be just mind blowing. I mean, when you can take a reel, I mean, that you can, it has an app for one that you can dial in what you're doing, and then you can go in and custom tune those presets. It's insane. So you could go in. I am not good at skipping, not at all. But with this reel, you're going to be able to tie on a weightless Senko or some other lure that you want to skip to the back of a dock. Tell the reel that you're skipping, and instantly, boom, you're skipping. That's insane. That's phenomenal. So with something like a 3/8 ounce bladed jig or a 3/8 ounce lure of any kind, you can go in and basically set it to a generic setting, is what I call a generic setting, but just your normal setting out of the box for a universal lure, and it's going to throw it well. Then let's say if you want to start going in there and creating an actual setting just for that, you can start fine tuning, saying, I want more distance. I want more control. I want this, I want that. And you can actually then adjust it yourself and create a preset for it. It's just so many neat things. Like you can get it for distance. You can preset it for a heavier lure. It's just crazy. That iReel, I mean, it's going to be mind blowing. Can't wait to get my hands on it and do some videos on real world uses of it. It'll be cool. Will a drop shot work good on an MG12 or Kestrel Elite? Absolutely. Absolutely. I actually, when the Kestrel Elite first came out, I actually, as a matter of fact, I probably have it sitting right here. I'll show you my drop shot rod that I built for a Kestrel Elite. And I just hooked a buddy up with an Asage. Where is it? I'm over here in the dark now. Where'd it go? And I wasn't prepared for this question. Is this it? No. Actually, you know what? Oh, it's right in front of me. I just had a rod sleeve on it. Okay. So here is my MG12, or not MG12, but Kestrel Elite, which is the mother to the MG12. Same frame. They just changed the spool and some other components inside to make it a little bit more robust. But look at here, guys. This is the walleye wide-eye rod. So I took a small walleye wide-eye rod, and this is the KRD CSTWE 6/8 JTM1. Okay, so it's a moderate action with a medium power. Okay, and I want to say this is like a 6'4", 6'8", 6'8". It's the jig and troll. Okay, it's the jig and troll 6'8". But the action is what I was after. It's very similar to a drop shot rod. So I picked this up, put my Kestrel Elite on it, and this was my bait casting drop shot rod. Now, I had a buddy just pick up an MG12, and he was like, what rod should I put it on? I don't like to drop shot with spinning reels at all. So we put him into a Asage rod. Let's see here. I'll just do this with you guys. Check this out. It's always fun. We'll go here, which actually will help me kind of show you guys some other things. So we're going to go into rods. We're going to go into the Asage line. And it was I want to say it was the Sniper that we put him in. Let me look. Pretty sure it was the Sniper, which is always sold out. I think it was, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think we put him in a Sniper. We put him on the Sniper rod, and yeah, it had to have been the Sniper. We could do it probably do the sniper, or if you're okay with a longer rod, you could do the spin out. That's one thing that you could do on there for a decent drop shot rod in the Asage in a bait caster. But yeah, the sniper's phenomenal. It's fantastic. So that's what we set him up with, an MG12 and that. So let's go back here. All right. Anyways, so that's what we hooked it up on. I need a new estuary rod. Well, new estuaries are coming, man. They're coming. And that's the great thing about towards the end of it, how much will the new iReel be? I want to say 350, somewhere in that margin. But don't quote me. When we first showed it in July, there was still those were prototypes. They were working model prototypes, and they worked fantastic. But things can change. But anyhow, where did it go? When will the new products drop? Okay, so yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So the great thing about end of the year, we're at Q4, right? So Q4, you kind of wrap things up. There isn't a whole lot of new things coming because you're pushing it into the new year. You get the new year running. So with that said, January starts Q1. Okay, so what can we expect to see Q1? Possibly new estuary rods. Don't quote me. I'm not saying they're happening, but just know that it's not going to happen in Q4. If it's going to happen, it'll be Q1 or Q2. That we'll probably see the new estuaries and that new iReel. Now, then you also have the Bassmaster Classic. This Bassmaster Classic is shaping up to be a fantastic one. I can't tell you a whole lot about that, but there's some cool stuff getting ready to happen in March, so keep your eyes open. I will be there. And I'm also thinking I'm going to drive to Texas this time instead of flying out there, and I'm going to take my boat. And I'm going to fish some Texas lakes, guys. So I will be somewhere around Fort Worth and Dallas area, because Lake Ray Roberts is right there, and that's where the Bassmaster Classic is going to be. So I'm going to fish Lake Ray Roberts while I'm out there, and probably hit a couple other lakes. So if you guys know some amazing lakes that are fantastic in March, right around the spawn, in Texas, and that'll be close to Fort Worth and Dallas within like an hour or so, then definitely let me know. So I've never fished outside of Arizona, believe it or not. Been all over the country, working all these trade shows, but I'm taking my champion with me, and I'm going to hit these stuff up. So guys, get in my inbox, a.j.gore on Facebook, and let me know of some great places to fish around there. And if you might be around, and maybe I'll see you on the water. It'd be a good time. But yeah, so I'll be at the Classic. Big party going down at the Classic this year, or 2025. And I'm going to have my boat. It's going to be a good time. So it's going to be fun. And I'll be working the trade shows. So, but if I'm, that week of the Classic, so the Classic's on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'll be fishing, hopefully get into Texas around Monday and fish Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, around those lakes. So try to hit a different lake every day if I can. That'd be awesome. Be killer. So, but yeah. All right. Moving on. So there we go. But anyhow, took my boat to deer camp this past weekend and spent 2-3 days fishing. Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you on that. Why not Houston? Because the Classic's not in Houston. And I don't know how far away Houston is from, I'd have to look to see how far Houston is from Fort Worth and stuff. So, but yeah. Anyhow, and then fuel's expensive, man. I'm trying not to. I mean, it's going to cost me a grip to drive over there, towing my boat. Cost me a grip and how much fuel I'm going to use on the lake, and then I got to drive back. So we'll see. Anyhow, Gary, you have a great night and have a great weekend, and I'll be back next Tuesday with our Black Friday show coming up. And yes, we will give some stuff away next week. I promise you. But anyhow, yes. 4.5 hours from Houston to is it 4.5 hours from Fort Worth to Houston, depending on speed limit? Well, I drive slow. I'm going to get on the I-8 or something, I'm sure, and everybody's going to be doing 85 to 100, and I'll be doing 75, and they'll be all mad at me. But anyhow, so that's the way that's going to go. So yes. So if you guys are going to be around the Classic in March, it's going to be awesome. All right. Yay for the Black Friday show, right? I know this is kind of a boring show tonight. I'm sorry. But that's the way it goes. All right. So, guys, Speaking of which, that's a great segue into to ending up the show. Check this out. I'm going to share my screen one more time, and I'm going to show you guys something. Here we go. Now, next week is going to be closer to Black Friday, but as we all know, there is a ton of pre-Black Friday sales going on, and Cask King is no different. Check this out. Check this out. So they call it the Frenzy Sale. Dang it. How come Nikki gets a sale named after her? Cast Fishing Frenzy with Nikki. She gets her own sale. But check this out. Look at this. 12 days, 7 hours, 28 minutes. But anyways, here's some of the stuff that you guys can see. Look at this. Freshwater setup. You got combos going down right now. Instead of being about 223, 200, you can get this thing anywhere between 150 to 173 for this whole combo. That's a deal. And we all know that the world loves the Royal Legend Pro. But then, guys, check this out. Traditional bait casters, low-profile bait casters. We've got the Sharky 3 for $30. That's a heck of a reel. TPE handle. Oh, God, I'm not going to get into it. I mean, it's supposed to be a sneak peek. Royal Legend, 20% off. Zephyrs, 15%. And this is just into reels. Let's take a look at rods. Boom. Speed Aim Pros, 20%. Walleye, wide-eye rods, 30%. Guys, you could build, where did it go? This beauty right here, if you're looking to do like kind of a drop shot setup with a Kestrel, this thing right here, it's a walleye rod, guys. Again, like I said, this was the Jig and Troll 6.8. That thing's going to be for sale, or it's happening on sale right now. What else we got? Spartacus Twin Tips, which is basically 2 rods in one. Royal Advantage Twin Tips, 2 rods in one. Royal Legend Pros, it's just bomb. Just bomb. Then you got the combos. Great deals on combos. These are the Royal Legend 2 Twin Tips. Can't go wrong with those. Centrons. It's just good stuff, guys. Line on sale. Apparel on sale. Not just glasses. You got hats, jackets, pants, things to that nature. You got the cold weather gear. Guys, deflector gears on sale right now, 25% off. This is going to be like your bibs and jacket. You can do 100 miles an hour, and these things are going to shield you from that nasty weather. They do. They work. I do recommend a baklava to go with it. It just seals the deal, guys. It seals the deal. But yeah, check it out, guys. Things are going down right now on the site with the pre-Black Friday sale. But next week, we'll get into that Black Friday sale, and it'll be a good time. So, guys, that's going to do it for me. All my fishing friends and family are getting Cask King for Christmas. Yeah, girl. Sounds like a great Christmas. A great Christmas this year for your family. Guys, if you're not following me already or following Cask King on TikTok, check us out. My dog's under my desk. Gotta give her some loves. Check us out at Cask King USA on TikTok. We also have Black Friday sales going down on TikTok that will be different than the website and Amazon sales. So check all 3 places. There's some crazy deals you can get there. And yes, the TikTok shop has its own entity of sales and do their own things. So it's fantastic. Make sure you check those. And yes, Juan, those jackets are gold. I'm telling you. You know what's crazy is I got to buy new bibs and overalls too, because I lost all this weight, and they were a little big on me to begin with, and now they're just going to swallow me up. So I got to buy new ones, but these ones will work till then. All right, so back to things, guys. If you're not following us on Instagram, Cask King USA and Cask King Community, and then of course if you're watching right here on Facebook and YouTube, you already know. Just make sure that notification or subscribe button's clicked when we go live. And yes, guys, we will have some giveaways for Black Friday. Juan saying an MG12 Christmas giveaway? Maybe. Because I'm working on a show right around for Christmas. I can't exactly call it a Christmas show, but I got some things going. It's going to be an important show. It's going to be a big show. So maybe we can do an MG12 giveaway for that show. May happen. All right, guys, I'm out of here. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys next week, and I will do some giveaways next week. See you guys later. Have a great